Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night Randomizer. And in this episode, we'll be going to take on what was one of the optional bosses when the game came out. But because thanks to the randomizer, she becomes significantly more mandatory.
Much more mandatory than before.
Yes.
Ooh, we are almost dead.
Yeah, we are quite underpowered for the area that we're in, but we kind of have to be in this area because we don't really have access. Well, we could be in the underground waterway, but that's actually significantly not significantly, but slightly higher a slightly higher power rating than where we are at the moment anyway. So, yay, HP max up.
Woo! Is it a floor or is it a hole? You better check it out.
What I was trying to do there is Reflector Ray past him so I could finish killing him, but because while he's facing this way, we cannot deal damage to him.
Send the hounds.
Ooh. So it's in the world of cloud as we prepare for this boss fight.
You've been helping me extensively finally get back into the competitive scene in Magic. Thinking about which win condition I want to try next.
Well, I personally thought I was helping you get back into the casual scene of Magic because most of the decks that we're running by each other are more casual than competitive.
Yeah. That is true, but then, like, I don't know, I suppose I can't... Oh, yes you do, honey. I was going to say that I can't really have this schism going in between, like, casual and just playing, because that is the game. It's just playing the game, and it shouldn't matter who I'm going up against, you know what I mean?
But it does. Anyway... This is Bloodless. Bloodless is honestly a very interesting boss because of because of one, her attack pattern, and two, the kind of stuff that you end up having to do for this fight.
Ow.
Yes, she hits really hard at our level because we are again a bit lower than we're supposed to be.
But she's very tanky. Like,
oh no, she is not actually all that tanking. All that tanking.
You might want to heal. You're dead.
Yep, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's one way you can get killed in this fight, is just get fucking trapped against the wall and be unable to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. Let's try that boss again.
Yes. Switching over our shards again. We don't actually have all that much of our the equipment that we could attempt to benefit off of. So.
As long as we have something that works. I know it definitely doesn't work, is standing still checked. So X that off the solutions list is definitely do not stand still.
Well, it kind of depends on context, actually. Standing still is how you're going to get a majority of your damage on her, believe it or not. You just have to figure out...
I mean, what...
You just have to figure out when it is appropriate to stand still. And yes, I could have skipped this cutscene, and honestly, I should have just cut out the first attempt at this, but I chose not to. It makes a much cleaner part that way. Ugh.
Are these boss intros unskippable?
No, they are definitely skippable. Specifically
God.
Hers is. I don't think that Velix is.
Oh, she turns direction. Interesting. See, that part I was not aware of. But yeah, it seems to me that because all she's doing is just standing... Alright, now close the distance quickly now. Because as soon as she attacks, the best thing to do is to jump up, around, and then attack her in the back. Yep. Stay on her.
I do
Damn
like
it.
this fight.
Heal.
But
you need to heal.
I don't need to heal yet.
Yes,
fine.
you do, because you can get killed at this health. Now you can get killed at this health. If she fucking, spams you again.
No, but in order for her to successfully spam me, I have to be in a suboptimal position.
That was almost the one. Yeah, you want to watch out for that one really nasty one that she does. Got to take the potion now.
Ouch.
All right, now heal again. Almost. Yeah. 40. 40s. Yep. I knew that one was coming. All right, well, you healed just in time because you're about to get hit again.
All right, here's Bloodsteel. Now what
is this one of those bosses like, can you figure out how to kill this boss?
No. This is not one of those. She only does Bloodsteel once, but she heals for the entirety of her health bar when she does it.
Damn, we just got hit for 52.
I told you we should have learned how to deflect projectile rocks.
No, believe it or not, I actually do have a parry skill thing, so I'm still running Zangetsudo at the moment. But I'm not actually all that reliable with it at this point.
Come on. She doesn't have a name tag anymore. Clearly, she's almost dead.
No, she is not. She, you can tell how close to death she is by the length of her dress.
Huh.
This is Blood
Right,
Rain.
because
if I stand in that, I will die.
You're just dead?
Yes, Blood Rain will in fact kill me in one shot. Not because it does that much. Not because it does that much damage per tick, but because Blood Rain ticks every half second.
Just I kind of figured she was one of those bosses that would just blindside you with an attack you weren't expecting and just deals massive damage until you die. Because this like Japanese style games will do this a lot. Like the character will be kind of like visibly not that powerful, but then come to find out that it's a goddamn nightmare.
No, well, the only
fight
enemy
is
that
too
I'm
long.
not all that familiar with doing that is Tonberry from the Final Fantasy series, and even then there's actually a relatively good lore reason for that.
Crit. This fight is way too long.
Fuck no, dude, we're just underpowered.
Oh, is that why it's taking so long?
Yeah.
Heal.
Why? She's almost dead.
I think you should heal. Alright, because she's out of blood. She needs to put more bath water in the tub next time.
Got her. Yay! We didn't get Bloodsteel. Oh well.
That was almost satisfying.
We got Spear Expertise, which is useless for us because we'll be using Zangetsudo for the rest of the run. Oh well. Some miso, which is a cooking ingredient. I actually really like the Bloodless fight. I think that honestly, there should have been more humanoid fights in the game. To be perfectly honest, because a lot of the more monstrous fights are significantly easier than they're supposed to be. But the humanoid fights are usually relatively good combat puzzles.
Yeah, I like that. The game acknowledges, just by its namesake, Bloodstained, that, I mean, blood comes from a variety of sources. It comes from beasts. It comes from animal hemoglobin, which turns red when exposed to oxygen, because actually blood is blue before it becomes exposed to oxygen. And meanwhile, this lady right here is just warming up her guitar, but we said, no! Pick up the triangle instead.
Alright, hit the switch. Or, no, okay, we're not going to hit the switch. We're just going to go up. Okay.
The magical bookcase.
Some mocha oil. Okay,
Dragon.
So it looks like we are going to attempt to go kill Androlfus next. All right.
You're a little low on health there, guy.
We're fine. See, we leveled up again.
Sweet.
And a Fey Leaf. Fay leaf is another cooking ingredient, I think, and if it's not a cooking ingredient, then what it actually is an enhancement material for probably fly trap, which is a shard I actively avoid using. I don't know why I actually actively avoid using fly trap, but I do.
Well, it's because you got a strategy that works.
Kinda. I mean, the strategy that I usually end up employing does work. No! And then that happens.
Damn it. Try again.
No, we're not going back up there. Oh, because Androlphus is actually down this way. Don't go through that way. Just don't. There's a lot of...
Let's try another way.
There are a lot of environmental hazards that way.
And I see what they wanted to do here. They wanted me not to resolve inside. They wanted me to make it all the way through. Any second now. Yeah. That was cool.
There's the warp room. And now we get to meet the most blatant Konami reference in the entire game. Hey, OD. Yes, he is.
And what of it? Will you murder me for that alone?
Probably.
I've picked no quarrel with you,
So, you remember that we went through Dawn of Sorrow, right?
but you may call me OD.
I mean, Dracul is a pretty familiar name. It's a good namesake, well respected in a reliable credit line.
Well, Orlok is also a reference to the old black and white Nosferatu film.
The books here are magical.
Gotcha. I never saw the original 1922 Nosferatu.
Neither did I.
It's turning 100 very soon. Ooh, the centennial.
All right, pick up the Might Tome. But this is what OD does. Oh, I guess we're picking up the Sentinel Tome instead. Usually I would pick up the Might Tome here, but all right. But yeah, OD is the librarian from. Well, his role is that of the librarian from Symphony of the Night, with the exception of he doesn't actually run a shop.
Just as long as he's not the final boss.
He is not the final boss, although he is the super boss.
Of course, it's always the character that is so helpful and so dubious in intention. You would never suspect that they would want to kill you.
Hey, Androlphus.
Or have to.
I'm a kick. I'm a flare. I'm gonna walk up to you and go there.
All right, Androlphus is how you would normally get the double jump shard, but unfortunately we because of the randomizer, we will likely not be getting double jump from him. He has a myriad of attacks that you want to figure out how to try to avoid. He has his normal kick, which does a decent amount of damage. He's got a dive kick, which does a decent amount of damage. Featherstorm is the one that you want to actually figure out how to dodge first, because although it doesn't do the most amount of damage, it's the only one of his attacks that can hit you multiple times when it's cast.
Swing, swing.
Unfortunately, dodging Featherstorm in melee range is a bit more difficult than it's supposed to be. Thankfully,
Thank
though,
you, Wolfie.
Androlphus has fallen, and he gave us a familiar shard. What familiar shard did we get? We got... It's probably Caraboose. No, it's Danteleon. Danteleon is an interesting familiar because what it does is it summons a sorcery book that can buff your strength at its base level. I believe if you bother to max it out into 9/9, it will actually buff all of your stats. But I've never bothered to do it because it's a really temporary buff for one, and it has to actually cast it and resolve on screen for it to actually matter, and it takes him a while to cast it.
And that's why Ancient Power was just never a viable Pokemon move. Because for God's sake, you can only use it 5 times.
Ancient Power got buffed. Ancient Power got buffed to, I believe, 60 base power at some point, and then it actually became a viable move on its own. But
no, dude, it was always 60 base power, but that's...
It was not a 60. It started off as 40.
That's still I mean, that's only a difference of 1.5%, though.
No, not 1.5%. It's 1.25 times as much power.
No, 1.25 times as much would be because the two factors are 1.25 and 40. That's 50.
No, well, actually, yeah. So it's actually it's 1.5 times as much power.
Which, I mean, I still say who gives a who, and the whole thing where it has a 10% chance of improving all your stats.
Well, that's the thing. If you stack it with specific Pokemon like Togekiss, it becomes a 20% chance, and that can totally make the difference in a fight.